Before the United States Air Force had the ability to wipe out the majority of civilization, F.E. Warren Air Force Base was a small Army outpost on the American frontier that was constructed to guarantee the safety of Union Pacific Railroad employees. Due to the fact that it is the oldest continually functioning Air Force post, it has a significant amount of history. Yet, similar to the majority of military installations, its history may be quite violent. After 186 years of accidents, deaths, and damage, it is inevitable that there will be a couple of ghosts lingering around, even in Wyoming. F.E. Warren has all of the spirits that you could expect to find there. At the present time, Warren is a member of the Air Force Global Strike Command and is outfitted with an estimated 150 nuclear missiles that are ready to be launched any time North Korea becomes too big for its britches. It goes without saying that the times were substantially different when the Army constructed it for the first time in the year 1867. Fort Dear Russell was the original name of this structure, and it was constructed for the 30th Infantry and Company H of the United States 2nd Cavalry Forces. Their objective was to safeguard workers while also building the Transcontinental Railroad, and Cheyenne, Wyoming, which was located close, was the headquarters of the railroad industry in the United States. The fact that the train was built across the traditional territory of the Sioux, Arapaho, Cheyenne, Crow, Blackfoot, Bannock, Snake, and Shoshone tribes, all of whom would vigorously protect their lands, was one of the most significant challenges that the construction of the railroad had to face. During the American Civil War, the United States government was compelled to concentrate its efforts on defeating the Confederates. The Native Americans in the western region took full advantage of this shift in the government's priorities. It was popularly referred to as the Bloody Year on the Plains in 1865. After spending 5 years fighting in the Civil War, the United States Army eventually returned to the plains to protect the settlers and railway workers in a very proactive and violent manner. This came after the Army had been taken a battering on the plains itself. There were marauding tribesmen who were utilizing southern Montana as a base to conduct attacks, steal livestock, and kill settlers. Scouts and cavalry from Fort Russell headed out from Cheyenne to hunt down these marauding tribesmen. The primary strategy employed by the American cavalry was to engage in combat with the indigenous people wherever they encountered them, so transforming the region into a battlefield that encompassed an extent of 90,000 square miles. Over the course of the years 1867 to 1895, the United States Army engaged in a series of brutal and bloody wars with the indigenous peoples. These conflicts included the Great Sioux War and Red Cloud's War, as well as massacres at Sand Creek, Washita, Marias, and other locations. Despite the fact that the Native American tribes were eventually subdued, they did not go down without a battle. In the course of the Indian Wars that took place in the latter part of the 19th century, it is believed that approximately 8,500 members of various tribes lost their lives in battle. This figure does not take into account the deaths of women, children, and old people that occurred as a result of Army raids and killings in villages. During the conflict with Native Americans, the United States Army suffered a loss of around 1% of its overall personnel, which contributed to the deaths of hundreds of soldiers. Those settlers who were killed in raids by Native American bands are not included in this total. Across the board, the total number of casualties is significantly greater. Even after Fort Russell was converted into F.E. Warren Air Force Base, military personnel and civilians alike have reported seeing uniformed cavalrymen patrolling areas within and around the base. This has been the case for more than a century. In addition to the spectral troops, Warren is widely considered to be one of the most haunted locations in Wyoming and the United States in general. This is not the only reason for this reputation. In the past, the building that houses the security forces was the base hospital, and the morgue was located in the basement of that building. Airmen from San Francisco have reported seeing ladies roaming throughout the corridors of the facility as if they were patient check-in nurses. Another haunted location was the location of a gruesome incident that occurred when a mentally ill patient who had escaped executed 6 nurses while they were sleeping. It is currently the Wyoming Civil Air Patrol that resides in that structure. The ghost known as Gus is considered to be the most well-known of all the ghosts that inhabit at F.E. Warren. According to the legend, Gus was having a sexual encounter with the wife of an officer when the officer unexpectedly found the couple in bed together. Gus made the decision to try to leap out of a window, but he ended up hanging himself on a clothesline instead. In what is now often referred to as Gus quarters, it is stated that Gus is repeatedly opening and closing drawers and cabinets in an attempt to locate his pants.